Right now it's 12:30 a.m. I'm honestly pretty tired, but I still turn on the camera because I feel like if I don't film this right now, I'm going to miss the moment. I got accepted to Uppsala for my master. Honestly, I haven't been able to film YouTube videos lately. I just didn't have time. I work every day, and when I get home, I have to work out. On my rest days, I practice vocals and guitars, and even on weekends, it's the same. So I kept thinking, when am I supposed to film YouTube? To be honest, that's been my biggest struggle. But today, I felt like I had to film this because something big just happened in my life. So, going to Sweden for my master's wasn't some random idea. I'd actually been thinking about it for a few months since around last December, and it all started with one question. Can I really sustain a creative life like this? Can I keep living like this, balancing music and fitness while actually pursuing my dream of becoming an artist? Right now, I'm working as an education project manager, and to be honest, I'm doing fine. I can live, I can get by, but the more I thought about it, the more I started to question, is this really sustainable for my future? Because realistically, the education industry isn't exactly a high value creating industry. And at some point, I'll have to stand on my own, build my own life, and be fully independent. And I kept asking myself, can I really solve the problem with what I'm doing right now? And the honest answer was no. So I started looking for alternatives. And around the time, I met my cousin who lives in Japan. He actually moved to Japan around my age, did his master's there, and after graduating, he started at a small startup at 30. That's where he obtained his AI skill. And now he's working as an AI engineer at a major art company in Japan, married to a Japanese woman with two kids, and honestly, doing really well. So I started thinking seriously, how can I build a more sustainable career from this point in my life? And I realized that if I want that kind of stability, I need to have a specialized skill. I actually studied physics for my bachelor's, so in a way, I'm in a good position to switch my career through a master's. And honestly, my situation might even be better than my cousin's back then, but I just hadn't realized it. So the next question was, what kind of skill should I learn? At first, I thought about AI, but I decided to drop it. The competition is just too high. There are too many people already in that space, and unless you have a strong technical edge, it's really hard to stand out. And I was also thinking, what can I realistically do within 1 year? And the only field that really made sense was energy, and more specifically, wind energy. So I applied to Wind Project Management Master's Program at Uppsala, and I chose this path because I was already working as a project manager. So instead of starting from zero, I can combine my current experience with a new industry. And I believe that if I spend just 1 year to pivot into energy sector, it could be a huge leap for my career. But there is one big problem: money. Even though it's just a 1 year master's, it's probably going to cost around 350,000 kronas. And yes, wind power project manager is a field with strong return. So in a way, the money itself doesn't feel like the biggest issue. But at the same time, you never really know how things will turn out. There's always risk. Like, what if I can't find a job in Europe after I graduate? What if things don't go the way I planned? That's something I've been thinking about a lot. But then I came into conclusion. If I just sit here and worry and look back a year from now, the biggest risk for me would be asking myself, why didn't I even try? And in all this uncertainty, I realized there's one constant I can rely on. The constant is myself. Because one thing I know about myself after living 27 years is that when I'm truly convinced about something, I make it happen, no matter what it takes. I push through it with persistence, with stubbornness, with everything I have, and in the end, I get what I want. I'm a consistent person. When I have a goal, I keep going until it works. That's how I approached everything: singing, guitar, working out, studying. Whatever it is, if I have a clear goal, I figure out the direction and make it happen. And honestly, if you have that kind of clarity, I don't think there's anything in this world you can't achieve. So I've decided I'm going to Uppsala. 1 year isn't a very long time, but at the same time, it's not short either. It's enough time to completely change your life. 1 year is enough, so I'm going to take this challenge and I'm going to make it work.